The neighborhood was quiet, the kind of place where everyone knew each other but still kept their distance. It was a peaceful afternoon, the sun casting golden rays across the well-maintained lawns. Birds chirped, children played in the distance, and everything seemed perfect until one decision changed everything. Jared Williams, a man of discipline and routine, sat in his study with his laptop open. A man of deep thought and measured action, he never sought trouble, nor did he expect any. But life had a strange way of introducing chaos into order. Today was one of those days. With a few simple keystrokes, he changed his home Wi-Fi password. A minor action, one that should have had no consequences, but life, as always, had a way of turning the smallest ripples into raging storms. Across the street, behind pristine curtains, Olivia Carter, known for her unshakable suspicions and overzealous neighborhood watch habits, stared out her window. She had always prided herself on being aware of everything happening around her. It was not nosiness, she told herself. It was responsibility. Then it happened. Her Wi-Fi signal dropped. Frowning, she refreshed the page. Nothing. She checked her router. Still nothing. And then she saw him, Jared, sitting calmly at his desk, typing something on his laptop. The timing was too perfect, too precise. Her mind worked quickly, forming connections, real or imagined. What if he was hacking her network? What if he had stolen her internet? What if he was invading her privacy? Her pulse quickened. This was not right. This was a crime. Without hesitation, Olivia stormed across the street, her heart pounding. She had to act. She had to stop whatever he was doing. Knocking sharply on Jared's door, she stood tall, crossing her arms as the door swung open. Jared looked at her with mild surprise. "Olivia," he greeted, his voice calm. "What brings you here? I have a question for you," she said, her voice carrying an edge of accusation. "What exactly are you doing on your laptop?" Jared's brows furrowed. "Excuse me? My Wi-Fi just went out, and I see you sitting here typing away." She stepped closer. "Did you hack into my network?" A beat of silence. Jared blinked, registering her words. Then an incredulous smile flickered the corner of his lips. "Did I what?" "You heard me," she said, standing firm. "People do this all the time. I've read about it. Hackers, identity thieves. You have all that tech in your house. I knew something was off about you." Jared exhaled slowly, trying to keep his composure. "Olivia, I changed my own Wi-Fi password, that's all." But Olivia's mind was already set. "I'm calling the police." Her hands shook slightly as she dialed. "Yes, I need officers dispatched immediately," she said, her voice laced with urgency. "There's a man tampering with my internet, possibly hacking my accounts. He's acting suspiciously, and I don't feel safe." Jared watched, his arms crossed. He had seen situations like this before, accusations born from misunderstanding, fueled by fear. He sighed, waiting. There was no point in arguing. The truth would reveal itself soon enough. Minutes later, flashing red and blue lights broke the quiet of the neighborhood. Officers stepped out, their faces neutral but alert. Olivia stepped forward, her expression triumphant. "There he is," she pointed, her voice confident. "He's been acting suspiciously. I caught him hacking my Wi-Fi." The officers turned their gaze to Jared, and then the realization dawned, a slow transformation of expressions. One officer nodded in recognition. "Chief Williams," the officer said, his voice tinged with disbelief. A moment of pure, stunned silence. Jared reached into his pocket, pulling out his badge. "That's right," he said, his voice calm but firm. "Jared Williams, Chief of Police." Olivia's face drained of color. You're the chief?" Jared simply nodded. The air between them shifted. Reality sank in. She had called the police on the police chief. The officers exchanged looks before one spoke. "Ma'am, we'll need you to step back. There was no crime committed here." But, Olivia started only to falter. Jared held her gaze. "Olivia, you jumped to conclusions. You saw what you wanted to see, but the truth was never what you thought." She swallowed, looking away, shame creeping into her features. I didn't mean," Jared sighed. "Next time, try asking before assuming." The officers left, the tension dissolving into an awkward quiet. Olivia turned without another word, retreating to her home, her face burning with embarrassment. Jared exhaled, closing his door. Another day, another lesson in human nature. People do not see the world as it is. They see it as they are. Assumptions shape our reality. Fear distorts our judgment. We rush to conclusions, paint others with the brush of our own biases, and in doing so, we blind ourselves to the truth. But truth does not change even when we fail to see it. And sometimes reality humbles us in the most unexpected ways.